Hello champions, your second PUC Chemistry board examination is tomorrow, and in this examination, name reactions and mechanisms are a short questions. It will be asked in the 2-marker section and even in your 5-marker section. So in this video, we are going to discuss all the name reactions and all the mechanisms that you should study to get full marks in these questions. So let's get started with the first chapter, that is haloalkanes and haloarenes. So here the first name reaction we have is Sandmeyer reaction. So in every name reaction, remember you have to first write the statement and then the equation, okay? And in statement, you don't have to worry too much. You just need to write the reactant, reagent and product. So freshly prepared disonium salt is treated with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide to give aryl chloride or aryl bromide. Now this reaction is called as Sandmeyer's reaction. Now you have NH2, one second, you have this NH2 and then with Na, NO2 and HX, it gets converted to N2 plus and Cl minus, and after that when you treat it with the salt of copper, you get chlorobenzene or bromobenzene plus nitrogen gas. Next, second one is your Finkelstein reaction. Here alkyl iodides are often prepared by the reaction of alkyl chlorides or bromides with NaI in dry acetone, and this reaction is known as Finkelstein reaction. Next, we have Schwarz reaction. This is for the preparation of fluoroalkanes. So alkyl fluorides are by heating an alkyl chloride or bromide in the presence of metallic fluorides to give alkyl fluorides is called as Schwarz reaction, and here you have an example of the reaction. Next, we have Woods reaction. So in Woods reaction, we have alkyl halides react with sodium and dry ether to give hydrocarbons containing double the carbon atoms present in the reactant. So here you can write down a reaction, write CH3Cl if you have, and when you treat it with sodium and dry ether, then you get CH3CH3 plus NaCl. Okay. Next is Woods-Wittig reaction. A mixture of alkyl halide and aryl halide gives an alkyl arene, okay, when treated with sodium in dry ether, and is called as Woods-Wittig reaction. So if you have one haloalkane and one haloarene, and if you treat it in presence of sodium and dry ether, then this X gets converted to R and you get a compound that is alkyl arene. Next is Wittig reaction. So aryl halides when treated with sodium in dry ether gives you diphenyl, and this is called as Wittig reaction. Next, we have SN1 mechanism. In this chapter, this SN1 mechanism is very important. So in this, the step 1 is what? Step 1 is the formation of carbocation. Okay, formation of carbocation. So in this, what happens? First the bromine leaves and then a carbocation is formed, and then the step 2 in the reaction is the attack of nucleophile. Okay, attack of nucleophile. Okay, so this one attacks on this group and you get a compound like this. Next, we'll talk about SN2 mechanism. In SN2 mechanism, the OH groups attacks from the backside and you get a transition state here. Okay, now when this transition state is formed, then you get a compound, final product is formed like this. Next, we'll move to alcohols, phenols and ethers. Here we have the first important name reaction is Coles reaction. So in that, phenoxide ion reacts with CO2 to give you 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, or we call it as salicylic acid. Next, we have Remer-Tiemann reaction. So on heating phenol with chloroform in the presence of sodium hydroxide, a CHO group is introduced at the ortho position. This is called as Remer-Tiemann reaction, and you can see the whole reaction, and this intermediate here is important. Next is Williamson ether synthesis. In this method, haloalkanes react with alkoxide ions to form ethers, and you can write down a reaction where you have taken a tert butyl alkoxide ion with methyl bromide, and this reacts to give you a compound like this. Now let's talk about some important mechanisms in this chapter. The first mechanism is hydrogenation of alkenes to alcohols. So in this first step, what happens? There is attack of this double bond on the water molecule and you get a carbocation formed here. And after that, the nucleophilic, the water molecule attacks on this carbocation and then a product is formed like this. And then there is deprotonation to form an alcohol. So this water molecule releases one H plus to form one alcohol compound. Next, we have alcohols to alkenes. So in this, what happens? First of all, there is protonation of oxygen to form a O plus H2 group. After that, there is release of water molecule to form this carbocation. Now, once this carbocation is formed, then this hydrogen deprotonation takes place and a double bond is formed here. Okay. Next one, we have alcohols to ethers. So first of all, we have this O plus H and then it gets protonated here. Now this carbon becomes electrophilic. So another alcohol molecule attacks on this carbon and then you get a product like this, and then the deprotonation takes place. Now we will move to the next chapter, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. Now in this chapter there are so many name reactions. So the first one is your Rosenbaum reaction, where acid chlorides on reaction with H2 in presence of palladium and barium sulfate forms an aldehyde. So this reaction is there. Next we have Stephan reaction. So there's a T here. So here nitriles are reduced to corresponding imine with stannous chloride in the presence of hydrochloric acid, which on hydrolysis gives the corresponding aldehyde. Now this reaction is called as Stephan reaction. Next we have Itard reaction. In Itard reaction, the chromyl chloride oxidizes the methyl group to a chromium complex, which on hydrolysis gives the corresponding benzaldehyde. Next we have Gatterman-Koch reaction. In Gatterman-Koch reaction, benzene or its derivatives is treated with carbon monoxide and hydrogen chloride. In the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride or cuprous chloride, it gives benzaldehyde or substituted benzaldehyde. Next, we have Clemmensen reduction. So in Clemmensen reduction, the carbonyl group of aldehydes and ketones is treated with CH2 group on treatment with zinc amalgam and with concentrated HCl acid. So ZnSG with HCl will react with this one, and we have CH2 group attached here. Next, we have Wolff-Kissner reduction. So here in Wolff-Kissner reduction, the carbonyl group of the aldehydes and ketones is reduced to CH2 group on treatment with hydrazine with potassium hydroxide solution. Next, we have Cannizzaro reaction. In Cannizzaro reaction, the aldehydes which do not have an alpha hydrogen atom undergo self-oxidation and reduction reaction on heating with concentrated alkali. So that is what you can see here. Next, we have HVZ reaction, very important reaction. So carboxylic acid having an alpha hydrogen are halogenated at alpha position on treatment with chlorine or bromine in the presence of small amount of red phosphorus. So you get a product like this. Next, we have aldol condensation. So aldehydes and ketones having at least one alpha hydrogen undergo a reaction in the presence of a dilute alkali as a catalyst to form first beta hydroxyaldehydes or ketones, which then undergo dehydration on heating to produce alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, and this reaction is called as aldol condensation. Next, when we have cross aldol condensation, when aldol condensation is carried out between two different aldehydes or ketones, it is called as cross aldol condensation. And if both of them contain an alpha hydrogen atoms, then you get a mixture of four products. Now, particularly practice this example. Whichever examples are given in the book, please practice those examples, and there is a high probability that you will get questions from these examples only. Now we will move to the next chapter, that is amines. The first very important mechanism is Gabriel thalamide synthesis. So please prepare this entire process thoroughly. Here first of all there is a release of H plus and a salt is formed, and then you have delta minus and delta plus, and this N group attacks on R, and then there is an NR formed here. And then here OH, when it is treated with NaOH, this bond will break. You have COO minus, COO minus, Na plus, and then you have RNH2 group here. Next, we'll talk about Hofmann bromamide degradation. Amides on heating with bromine and aqueous NaOH give primary amines having one carbon less. Next, we have carbyl amine reaction. So when primary amine is heated with chloroform and alcoholic KOH, it gives you isocyanide group. Next, we have Gatterman reaction. So when chlorine or bromine can be introduced in the benzene ring by heating the disonium salt, okay, with corresponding halogen acid in the presence of copper powder. Okay, in Sandmeyer reaction you take salts of copper, but in Gatterman reaction you take copper powder. Then this is referred to as Gatterman reaction. You can see here just copper and HCl, copper powder with HBr will give you ArCl and ArBr. Okay, so students, KCET 2026 examination is very close, and if you really want to crack this examination, then only studying will not help you. You need to write tests, you need to analyze yourself, you need to improve your scores, right? And for that you need a good test series. So to help you with this, I have launched the Fighter KCET 2026 test series, which is based on KCET exam pattern and syllabus and is designed by KCET experts. So here you will get total of 18 full-length mock tests, 6 each from physics, chemistry and maths. Apart from that, you will get detailed solutions, video solutions for chemistry, and third most important, a detailed analysis report to understand your weak and strength areas. So everything, these all things are available at a very affordable price of just rupees 399. So please check the link in the description section and boost your preparation. Okay, so children, that's all in this video, and I hope this names reaction series you go through it, practice all this name reaction. Do not you don't have to memorize the exact words that is written in this slide. You can just mention the reactant, reagent and the product, and you have to write the reaction. Okay, that's it, and all the best. And if you need any other help, do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and all the best.